little munchkin. Okay. What is up, everybody? I hope you are all doing phenomenal. I am also doing great. Thank you for asking. Today I am on call, but I'm only good for one day. I am in Rep B, which goes from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But they have to use everybody from Rep A first, and they go off call at 2. It is noon right now, so I have 2 hours before I really need to start stressing, because I am number 1 to be called. So anything that pops up after 2, well, any one day that pops up after 2 will be mine. So I have a couple errands to run. I'm gonna try to run to the gym. I did have OPR last night, and I was hoping to get a trip out of that, so that way I didn't have to stress about getting called today. But that did not happen, obviously. The good news is, though, is I am already packed in case I do get called for anything, and I'm already like ready to go for the most part. So I would just have to, if I'm out and about, I would just have to run back to the apartment, throw on my uniform, and head out the door. At least I am prepared. I've got that going for me. I am vlogging again. We're trying, this is gonna stick. It's gonna stick this time, guys. Yeah. I am back from running errands, just looking fantastic. I ran my errands, I worked out, I got a good shoulder pump in. I've got 1 more minute to be on call. Let's see here, we've got 20 seconds. I'm number 1, so I'm literally not, they have called when I only had 2 minutes left of being on call. So I literally don't think myself as safe until it is officially 6 o'clock. I am off call. I am free for the weekend. Okay, so my errands, just real quick in case anybody was wondering. This is what I did. I got all this stuff, and then I went and got in a really good shoulder pump. Got a new wallet because the orange one that I have right now, I have had for probably like 6 years now or something. Got myself a mask because my face is a little irritated right now because it's super sensitive. Got myself some dry shampoo, and then I'm out of my mascara that I was using, which was Maybelline Lash Sensational or whatever, and then I went and got Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which everybody raves about and is obsessed with and whatever. I tried it for a couple days, and honestly I don't see what the hype was all about. Like, Maybelline's Lash Sensational or whatever it was called worked a lot better in my opinion, for my lashes anyway, which are almost non-existent. Which is why I had really high expectations for the Better Than Sex mascara, but so I returned it and exchanged it for this. We're gonna give it a try. I'm trying to like switch to all cruelty-free products. Everybody knows that MAC tests on animals, but there are a lot of other companies that test on animals too, and once I figured out what those companies were, I just can't bring myself to buy their products. This is gonna be a journey. Most of my face routine is good. Which, ooh, that reminds me. One of my good friends from college, she is one of the sweetest she's very sweet. Her name is Brittany, and she is a consultant for Roden & Fields. If you don't know what Roden & Fields is, it's one of the fastest growing skincare companies in the nation. They sell in the US and Canada. So she sent me a couple different samples. One of them was a microdermabrasion face scrub, which was a little bit too harsh for my sensitive skin. But another one was a moisturizer, and then another one was a lip serum. And the moisturizer was great, I loved it. And the lip serum was phenomenal. I'm like addicted to it. You put it on at night, and when you wake up, your chapped lips are gone, completely gone. If you don't know much about Roden & Fields, it is developed by the 2 dermatologists that started Proactive. So you know this stuff is legit. It does what it says it's going to. It also is a cruelty-free brand. They don't test on animals whatsoever. If anybody is interested in trying out Roden & Fields whatsoever, definitely get a hold of my friend Brittany. Like I said, like, she's one of the nicest people that I know. I will leave all of her contact information down below. I'm not being paid to say this whatsoever. I just really like the products, and I know that she wouldn't sell something that she doesn't wholeheartedly believe in, and I know that she uses the products herself. So if you are interested in those, trying to be a good friend and spreading the word for her. But I will leave all of her information down below. Even if you're just interested in learning more about it, like, just check it out and if you have any questions, I'm sure she would be more than happy to answer them. But yeah, Rodent and Fields. Her name is Brittany. Hi, Brittany. Now, since I'm no longer on call, we are going to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I'm gonna show you guys how I track my macros. I use the MyFitnessPal app. We are going to enter in the meals that I just did in my meal video, which I will leave the link to that down below as well. If you don't know what macros are, it's just your fats, carbs, and protein. And then, so you have your macronutrients, and then you have your micronutrients. And the whole idea of tracking macros is that it's flexible dieting. So that is how I am able to fit like donuts and pizza and stuff like that into my meals and what I eat, because I just make room for those macros. Christian Guzman just posted, it's a little bit lengthy, but he just posted a really good video about how to kind of figure out your own macros and like what they are and that whole thing. So I'll leave a link to that video down below. So, okay, but on to the meals. The first thing you want to do, obviously, is open the MyFitnessPal app. And to create a recipe, a new recipe, what you're going to do is come down here to the More option and then click Meals, Recipes, and Foods. Now, I already have the turkey enchiladas in here, but if you don't, what you're going to do is create a recipe and then enter the ingredients manually. When you get to this page, you'll enter in the title and how many servings. For me, I get 4 servings out of the turkey enchiladas, so I put 4 servings there. And then once you enter in that information, you click that arrow right here, and it'll take you to the page to add ingredients. Now, because I already have this recipe added, I'm just going to open it up and then show you how to add ingredients on here. Okay. We're going to add ingredient, and if you have the ingredients with the barcodes, then what you want to do is scan the barcode. And that'll pop up, and we're going to do the tortilla shells first. There we go. And then it brings you just to a 1 serving screen. So we're going to change the amount of servings, and what you're going to do is enter in the amount of servings that you put into the entire recipe. So because we used all 8 tortillas, I'm going to come down here and change the serving to 8. And then what that will do is it will automatically divvy up all this information between your 4 servings for the recipe. Does that make sense? So you used 8 tortilla shells, well, not shells, but whatever, 8 tortillas, and then it will automatically figure 2 tortillas for each serving. So once you're done with all that, you're going to confirm the ingredient. For, say, the red peppers, which didn't have a barcode, what you're going to do is you'll still add an ingredient, but then you're going to search for the food. So anything that you don't have the barcode for, you're just going to want to search for it and find the best option. So we're going to put in red pepper and click search. Now these ones are verified, so obviously one of these are going to be the best options. I did chop mine, and 1 red pepper did end up being about 1 cup. If it were more or less, then I could adjust the serving, and you can do less than a full serving. But the 1 red pepper that I had after I chopped it did end up being about 1 cup, and I already know that these nutrition facts are pretty accurate, so I'm just going to confirm that ingredient. And there we go. So I have all of the ingredients entered, and then I'm going to confirm. Then it will show you what each individual serving is. 2 turkey enchiladas ends up being 373 calories, 15.7 grams of fat, 46.1 grams of carbs, and 33.1 grams of protein. And then if you're just doing this in advance, if you hadn't eaten one yet today or 1 serving, then you could just push save. But because I did eat some today, I'm going to save and log it. And I had it for lunch, so we're going to change that to lunch. Confirm. And that's it. I haven't logged anything else yet today, but we can add my breakfast, which it will pull up just your recent ones. So I had strawberries and some oats, and then, oh, I could have just done it this way. It will say the frequently paired foods. So for example, my breakfast is more or less the same every morning. So then I can just add those two together and it'll automatically add it for me. P.S. The Wildberry PE Science Vegan Series is delicious. I don't like it in my oatmeal as much as I do the chocolate flavor, but it is really good as a protein shake, like after a workout. So yes, I highly recommend the Wildberry, but I do like the chocolate better when it comes to my oatmeal. One more thing about the MyFitnessPal app is if you click up here, then you get to see all of your nutrition information for the day. I actually, oh, that's because it's in week view. If you do day view, then it shows this little graph. And what you can do is you can click on each thing and you can see, okay, my goal is 180 carbs and I am only at 83.5. So I need about 100 more grams of carbs for the day to hit my carb goal. And you can do that for each individual one. Protein, my goal is 120 pounds, or 120 grams. Really, it's more like 125, 127 grams, but I don't pay for the premium MyFitnessPal app, so I cannot put in exact grams. I just know that really I want to hit about 125 grams of protein because I weigh 125 pounds, more or less. And that's it. Something else that you can do, or that you want to do, is you'll go in to set your macros, or your goals for your macros. Just ignore all that. That was from a long time ago. See, that was 2013. I don't follow that anymore. I care about this down here. To put in your macronutrient goals, you'll just do calorie and macronutrient goals. You'll figure out how many calories you can eat a day. This is not my current goals. I actually need to update this, and I'm going to use the system that Christian Guzman just talked about in one of his YouTube videos. I will leave a link to it down below. You'll figure out your calories, and then for me, I figure out my protein first, and then you'll do your fat, and then your carbs is going to be whatever is left over, pretty much. So we can go in, and if you don't have the premium, then you do just kind of have to mess around with the percentages until you get pretty close to what you want. One thing that I'll do, especially when I'm traveling, or if I want to have some sort of like special treat or whatever, is I'll go in at the very beginning of the day and add in everything that I plan on eating. So that way I see in advance what I have remaining. Or let's say, like if you do want a special treat or you want to make sure that it fits your macros, then enter in that like snack or treat or whatever first. So let's say you want some pizza or whatever. Figure out what pizza you're having, add it in advance, and then you'll see what you have remaining. So you'll be able to figure out what you should eat the rest of the day to ensure that, yeah, I get to eat this pizza, but I'm also still hitting my macros. That is why when you count macros, that's why it's called flexible dieting. That's why it's if it fits your macros, because you can still eat like donuts or what have you. You can still eat all that stuff, still hit your macros and hit your fitness goals, or still stay on track for your fitness goals. Now, obviously, you shouldn't be going and eating like donuts and pizza every single day, because you're just not gonna feel good, and it's not practical. Yes, you're counting macros, but you should also be, keeping track of your micronutrients too. Like, it's not all just about macros, it's about your micronutrients as well. So if you go in to like some strawberries, yeah, you see the macros, but you also see your micronutrients as well, which is your vitamins and everything. And that's what's going to keep you functioning and feeling good, is if you're getting a lot of micronutrients as well. So just keep that in mind. Counting macros does not mean that you can just eat a bunch of junk food. It's It's just flexible dieting. So you don't have to feel guilty about having a donut on the weekend. It makes it more flexible. It makes it easier to stick to a diet because you're not necessarily restricting yourself. You're having things in moderation. Side note, for the honey garlic shrimp, what I did, because if you remember, we took the shrimp out of the marinade and we dumped out half of the marinade and only actually digested or ate the half of the marinade that we cooked the shrimp in. So when I was adding in those ingredients, instead of adding in the full 1/3 of honey, I figured that it was only a 1/4 cup of honey. So same with the garlic and the soy sauce. I just figured I only ended up eating about 1/2 or 3/4 of what the recipe actually called for. Also, say I had turkey enchiladas for lunch, but I didn't finish it. Like, I got hungry, I couldn't eat all of it. So what you'll do is you'll go in and let's say I had like 1 bite left, or I still had a little bit left. Just kind of figure about how much you actually did eat of the serving, and it'll adjust it for you. Like I said, I will leave links down below to some other really informative and helpful videos, but I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Like I said, I will leave links down below to some other really helpful videos about just macros and MyFitnessPal app and what have you, but I hope that this was still helpful for you all. Take this out of Do Not Disturb, and we go text my boyfriend back.